On to SCP-025. SCP-025. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-025 is only to be opened during testing, as it is the room in which 025 is stored. Entry codes are to be given only to authorized research and security personnel. No other containment protocols are required. Description: 025 is a wooden wardrobe measuring 0.97 meters by 0.26 by 1.95 meters, full of clothing dating from a number of time periods. Articles contained within the chest, collectively named SCP-025-1, match with the styles of decades from the 1920s to the present. The apparel from each time period varies with regard to style. For example, a polyester striped shirt and a pair of charcoal suit pants both correspond with general styles of the 1970s. The only unifying aspect of every article contained in 025 is that each one is in poor condition. Moths have eaten at much of the collection, and tears and runs are not uncommon. When any item from 025 is put on, the wearer is observed to either die or suffer a painful injury within 24 hours. The cause of death or injury in these instances is invariably linked to the aforementioned flaws in the clothing, but only ever appears to be an unrelated incident. Wearing a glove with the fingertip cut off may result in the loss of the fingertip through a simple kitchen accident like chopping onions. Similarly, a subject wearing a poncho with a sleeve missing will somehow cause the loss of the uncovered arm, be it an attack by a wild animal or a vehicular accident that necessitates the amputation of the limb. If placed in a sealed, unfurnished enclosing while wearing the item from the chest, the wearer will either spontaneously contract a flesh-eating disease that begins in the areas not covered by the clothing, or suffer the failure of an organ located beneath an imperfection in the article. Diseases arising from such incidents may or may not be contagious. No study has been successfully undertaken due to the speed at which the strains observed run their course. Recommended that, if possible, samples of the disease be taken to the lab for possible weaponization. Following is an abridged testing log of 025. More thorough testing will accompany the declassification of the document in its entirety. Test Log 025, Section 1. Subject D778, a 42-year-old white male. 1940s era white tuxedo. Imperfections: torn seam in the left shoulder. Test results: subject was allowed free roam of the halls under Agent Redacted supervision. At approximately 45 minutes, nothing eventful occurred. However, at Redacted, security tapes and eyewitnesses indicate that D778 appeared to make an attempt at attacking Agent Redacted. He, in turn, overcame the subject with a knife, causing an inch-deep gash in D778's left shoulder, precisely at the point where the tuxedo's seam was ripped. Test halted. Subject later terminated. Subject D6900, a 26-year-old white male. Article: 2004 Boston Red Sox baseball cap. Imperfection: missing size adjuster in the back of the cap, logo in front partially removed. Test results: placed in a sealed room with the subject was a table on which there was a loaded Jericho Baby Eagle 9mm handgun with a grill lighter and a hatchet. D690 chose to wear the cap backwards for the test. Potential effects of this decision on the outcome of the test are unknown. Subject expressed reluctance to touch any of the objects on the table for several hours. Food and water were provided as necessary. After 4 hours of general inactivity, subject picked up the handgun and examined it. While holding it at roughly eye level, the weapon discharged into 690's forehead, where the size adjustment band would have been. The round exited the subject near the part of the hat with the missing part of the logo. Subjects: D736, a 22-year-old white male. D771, a 23-year-old white male. Article: burgundy sweater, striped sweater vest, dating from 1973. Article seems to have been partially eaten by moths. Several large holes in front of the sweater. Test results: D736 was asked by researching staff to wear the sweater vest, which he did under duress. D771 was given a loaded handgun out of sight of the other test participant and instructed to, on signal, fire all 6 in the direction of D736. After doing so, it was noted that every shot fired passed through one of the holes in the sweater vest, leaving the clothing intact and killing D736. Firearm retrieved. Surviving subject transported back to quarters. Subject 771, a 23-year-old white male. Article: sweater vest from above trial. Imperfection, same as mentioned. Test results: D771 was this time placed in an empty room, dimensions 15 by 15 by 15 meters. Only objects in the enclosure were the lights overhead. Subject initially complained of boredom, then lay on his back and went to sleep. After 2 hours and 14 minutes, 2 of the fluorescent light tubes in the ceiling suddenly dislodged and fell. Both landed squarely on the holes in the sweater, shattering upon impact. One of the tubes broke into jagged pieces and impaled D771 in several areas, but again, only through gaps already present in the sweater vest. Subject's vitals persisted for another 6 minutes, then ceased. Further testing locations will be selected to minimize possible damage to the surrounding area. Subject: Dr. Redacted, unplanned experiment, an unidentified individual left an article of SCP-025 on Dr. Redacted's desk that looks similar to an item of his own clothing. Any information about this incident and or perpetrator of the same should be reported immediately to senior staff. Article: lightweight scarf, dyed a number of colors. Imperfection: heavily pulled seam causes scarf to be considerably shorter and tighter in the middle. According to his itinerary, Dr. Redacted, wearing the item from SCP-025, was en route to the enclosure of SCP-Redacted unredacted for routine testing. However, he diverged from his intended path and began in a direction towards an entirely separate wing of the facility. Subject then entered the enclosure of SCP-173 without gathering accompaniment or following safety procedures, and upon hearing the door closing, blinked. Cause of death listed as strangulation resulting from crushed windpipe. Good old 173. He likes to crack 'em. Subject 802, a 30-year-old Hispanic female. Article: 1980s Flashdance style white shirt. Right shoulder removed, left sleeve completely cut off, entire bottom hem shredded. All present were presumed infected, then quarantined, and data expunged. All further testing involving 1980s era fashion have been postponed indefinitely due to the expenditures and safety hazards presented by the aforementioned experiment. Full cleanup estimated to take an additional redacted weeks. Item number SCP-026. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-026 is to remain securely locked and boarded up at all times when there is no research going. Alarms are to be set to alert the Foundation in any case of entry by civilians or other agencies. Description: 026 is a 3-story public school building built and redacted. It has 2 wings connected to a central foyer. It was declared condemned and redacted after it was found the floor plan didn't match up to the building's blueprints. See interview log 026-1. It came to the Foundation's attention after several disappearances in the area were linked to visits to the abandoned building. And crossed out, so kind of redacted. The building demonstrates spatial anomalies. Its internal space is much greater than the external surface of the building would allow. Hallways display variable length, while stairways have differing numbers of steps going up or down. The number of rooms off the hallways changes each time they are counted. Attempts to reach the far ends of hallways have been met with failure thus far. Entrance through the fire escapes located at the ends of the hallways leads to doors approximately midway down the length of the halls. Edit. See Note 26-A. There is considerable graffiti on the interior walls of the school. Most appears typical, including gang signs, names, and street art. However, the graffiti fades and reappears, changing location. Writing on chalkboards and bulletin boards changes in a similar fashion. Subjects typically found range from standard school subjects, mathematics, literature, biology, to more esoteric subjects such as quantum entanglement, redacted, and eugenics. One researcher reported one board detailing information about SCP redacted, but photograph evidence showed only a blank slate. The phrase "the children used to sing" has appeared multiple times in various places throughout the building, but there is currently no explanation for its significance. A number of unconscious subjects have been found in the building, mostly of high school age, ranging from 12 to 18. They are dressed in accordance to the school's dress code, circa redacted. Several have been identified as former students or faculty of the school who disappeared after the school shut down, in at least one case more than 10 years after the closure. It is currently unknown how they were transported back into SCP-026. All attempts to wake the subjects while inside the building have failed. On being removed from the grounds of 026, subjects wake abruptly. They experience a period of confusion before dying from extremely rapid dehydration, followed by advanced decomposition. No useful intelligence has been recovered from the subjects to date. Inability to wake subjects extends to those who fall asleep on the grounds of 026, though the rapid dehydration only seems to affect those who have been found on the grounds of the school. See Incident Report 26-12. Note 26-A. Robotic exploration and video feeds have shown that the apparent spatial anomalies are caused by changes in the perceptions of observers rather than the actual spatial phenomena. For this reason, 026 does not require the expertise of Mobile Task Force Row 8 roadside picnickers at this time. Update. Further exploration has shown that some spatial phenomena does occur. See the exploration logs for more details. Note 26B. The contents of notepads, books, pieces of paper, and pieces of paper have been observed to disappear, only to reappear on surfaces within 026. New writings have appeared, mostly drawn from graffiti or textbooks. Caution should be exercised in bringing documents onto the grounds of 026. Note C. Several D-Class personnel exposed to 026 have disappeared from Foundation control, only to appear inside the anomalous building. The subjects in question have previously complained of dreams identical to those experienced by Agent Malik. Incident Report 2612. During a routine security check of SCP-26, Agent Malik was found unconscious by his partner, Agent Jones, in the main foyer. Initial attempts at rousing Agent Malik were ineffective, so he was moved for transportation to Site Redacted. Upon leaving the grounds of 026, he woke abruptly in a state of agitation. When questioned, he revealed that he had been dreaming of a classroom setting. This dream had been consistent throughout all subjects who have fallen asleep within the grounds of 026. Well, check out the interview log. Interview log 26-08. Dr. Redacted. Please have a seat. Agent Walker. Thank you. Let's get down to business. I understand you're requesting a transfer out of field work. Would you like to talk about it? I'd rather not. It's your choice. However, I can't approve a transfer without reason. Look, The agent paused here. You've seen my record. You know I've worked on 26, right? I've read the report. I was there the first time we took one of the sleepers out. A lot of them were adults when they disappeared, but they're kids again when we find them. So I see this 16-year-old boy just kind of shrivel away. I had nightmares that night. You're supposed to report any unusual dreams after contacting potentially mind-altering phenomenon. It hadn't been declared as a mind screw yet. We just thought it was a weird space thing. We were just watching it until the picnickers got there. And it was a shock, you know. We weren't expecting anything like that. Anyway, I got over it quick enough. I'd seen worse. I once had a guy melt while I was holding on to him. I see. What happened next? Nothing for a while. I went in a couple of times, but didn't see anything too weird. But, look, I know I should have reported it, but one of my buddies had just been disappeared after getting touched by some weird skip. And I don't want it to happen to me. Didn't want it to happen to me. You've been infected by an SCP. Yeah, it was a week later. I was dozing in the back of the van, and I started dreaming. Can you describe this dream? Just like the others, you've read the reports, right? Pretend that I haven't. For the record, Agent Walker. Alright, I'm in a classroom. It's just like one of the ones in 026, but new. Not falling apart. I knew the teacher's name. I knew who was sitting by me, even though I'd never seen most of them before. The bell started ringing, but no one moved. I raised my hand, but the teacher didn't notice. Finally, I tried to leave, but the door wouldn't open. Then I noticed something strange with my hand. It had color. Everything else was black and white, but I felt like I was the one who was wrong? Out of place? That's when I woke up. The van was leaving. No one else noticed I had been asleep. And you didn't think to report this? Like I said, I was scared. And this was before they found Malik. I figured it was just another nightmare. Nothing weird. And after Malik had his dream, well, they didn't do anything with him. So I figured it wasn't a big deal. He was put on observation. You should have been as well, for your own safety, for the safety of others. You paper pushers think it's all so easy, don't you? Sitting behind a desk all day, you don't know what it's like. Well, things aren't so clear out there. Not when you're the one hunting talking cats in a sewer, or waiting to see if you're the one who's not gonna come back this time. Agent Walker was visibly distressed. It was several minutes before she calmed down enough to continue the interview. Anyway, it wasn't until later that we connected the dreams with the sleepers. Not until they found those Class Ds on the second floor. Still, I thought I might be okay. I wasn't actually inside of 26 when I dreamed. I wasn't sure until the dream started. You're having reoccurrences? Yeah, it started 6 months ago. It's the same dream, but each time it takes me a little longer to notice that it isn't real. And then I look at my hands, and they're a little more gray. In interview 26-31, note, Agent Walker has since been given a Class A amnestic and returned to fieldwork. And I'll go read the exploration logs, or at least see how long they are. Oh, that's a lot. We'll see how far I get. Exploration log 026-4. Exploration conducted by Agent Redacted. Alright, I'm walking into the lobby. Walls are mostly bare concrete, a little paint here and there, graffiti everywhere, a few beer bottles, some other trash. Looks like just another abandoned building. Okay, I'm making my way up the stairs. More graffiti on the walls. Okay, I'm going into the hallway. The peeling paint is kind of creepy. It looks like some sort of sheet fungus. Reminds me of Redacted. The doors are kind of weird. Some are really close, others are far. Really irregular spacing. Doesn't match up with the blueprint you showed me. Okay, here's a classroom. Pretty empty. Some old desks. Real old. Like they had in the 30s. Chalkboard's got a few math problems on it. Looks like trig. Okay, I'm going to check out the other room. Back in the hallway, heading to the next room. Desk looks more modern in this room. Made from particle board. More posters here. Look to be from the 80s, I'd say. I'd recognize them. I recognize some of them from when I was a kid. Looks like Latin on the chalkboard. Yeah, I'm taking pictures. Okay, back into the hallway. Heading to the next room. Several minutes of silence. There's something really screwy with this place. I could swear the room was just a few feet away, but it feels like I've been walking for hours. Anyway, I'm here. We've got sleepers. 3 of them, 2 girls and a boy. They look to be around 14, 15. They're all wearing the same uniform. Yeah, just like you showed me. Hang on while I take some pictures. At least we can figure out who they are. The furniture's pretty old looking, what's left of it. Lots of broken chairs and desks. Nothing's on the walls, chalkboards. The hell? You're not gonna believe this, Redacted. It's got Agent Redacted's notes up here, in her handwriting even. We're gonna have to be real careful what we bring back in here. Yeah, I've got pictures, don't worry. Okay, I'm going to check one more room, then I'm out. Back in the hallway now, heading for the next room. Another anomaly. I've been going in the same direction this entire time, but I'm back at the stairs. Yeah, I'm just gonna head down. I've had enough of this place for one day. I'll meet you at the door. The developed photos revealed. Redacted. Exploration log 26-12. Carried out remotely using a robotic drone via video feed. Exploring the first floor hallway. The hallway appeared in poor condition with graffiti on the walls. Comparison with previous videos show the graffiti has changed. Many of the same signs are present, but in different positions. Some seemed new. Doors were uniformly spaced on the wall. Some were intact, while others were cracked or missing entirely. First room in the hallway was the girls' bathroom. More graffiti on the walls, several broken mirrors. A toilet had been removed from the wall entirely and placed in the center of the room. There was a great deal of porcelain and glass on the floor. The next room over was the boys' bathroom. This was skipped in favor of exploring the back classrooms. The first classroom had no furniture. The chalkboard was broken in 2. On the side of the board there was a set of lines reading, "I will not pass notes during classic." The other side had fragments of a lesson on Redacted. There was one poster on the wall, depicting Helen Keller. The second classroom was well furnished, with the largest number of intact desks to date, mostly made from wood and steel in a style used from 1950s. There were 2 sleepers found that had not been reported in the previous sweeps of the building. The first was a male teenager in a student's desk. Comparison with file 026-4 revealed him to be Redacted, a former student of the school. He was reported missing 10 years after the school closed down, at age 28. The other was a woman in her mid-30s sitting behind the teacher's desk. Her identity is still unknown. The chalkboard had a timeline of World War II overlaid with an intricate piece of graffiti. The third classroom had 15 particle board desks in various states of disrepair. A map on the back wall was consistent with the socio-political conditions of 1974. A bookshelf had collapsed and spilled a set of encyclopedias on the floor. The robot was guided to the end of the hallway and back to the entrance. There was no sign of spatial anomalies this time. Exploration log 15. Exploration conducted by Agent Redacted, accompanied by a robotic drone. Okay, I'm in. Lobby looks like it always does. Probably some graffiti drift. Here comes the robot. The lobby was compared to previous videos Some differences in graffiti were noted, otherwise no significant changes. I'm heading upstairs now. God damn, the robot's heavy. How much crap did you load onto it? You could have warned me. Gonna rest a second on the second landing. Video coming in alright? Cool, cool. First set of stairs was navigated without trouble. The second floor hallway appeared similar to the first hallway, though with less debris. I've caught my breath, heading up to the third floor. Wish there was a guardrail. Next time it might be easier to carry the robot and the gear separately and load it up once it's up. And load it in once it's up. The gear's pretty idiot-proof. I think I probably could figure it out. Damn thing must weigh over 100 pounds. There, on the third floor now. I count 12 doors. Weird spacing. That last door's gotta be at least 100 yards down. This place is pretty messed up. Rangefinder showed the hallway was approximately 45 meters long. 5 doors on each side, evenly spaced, with one more door at the end of the all 11 total. I'm heading in. There's not much as much graffiti up here. A bit of debris. I'm opening one of the doors, janitor's closet, and hey, we've got a janitor. He's sleeping stand up, that's new. Male, seems to be in his mid-50s. Name tag says redacted. A couple old blue broomsticks, what's left of a mop. Looks like rats have been nesting in here. They've shredded one of his pant legs, but looks like they didn't touch the sleeper himself. What? You want samples? Sure. Won't be the weirdest thing I've picked up for this job. Okay, I think that's it. Comparison with File 4 revealed the sleeper to be redacted. Former janitor in 026. Later analysis of rat feces revealed redacted. Recommended future exploration teams wear biohazard gear. Here's a classroom. No sleepers. Couple of desks intact. The rest looks pretty bad. Looks like someone took a sledgehammer to the place. No, wait, I stand corrected. Baseball bat. It's leaning against the corner. There's about half a case of beer here. Full cans, looks like they left in a hurry. Hey, get the robot to face the board. There's something I want to see. Looks like Latin to me. Could be significant. Get someone to translate it. It might be a clue on what's gone down here. The Latin was found to be a series of sentences showing different conjugations of the verb vendere, to sell. All were found in redacted Latin's primer, a textbook formerly used by the school. The baseball bat was aluminum, and the analysis of the fingerprints was inconclusive. Okay, next classroom. Desks look fairly modern, 80s I'd guess. Chalkboard got a note from Nicholas Nickleby on it. Yes, I'm sure. It's right there on the board. The sun does not shine upon this fair earth to meet its frowning eyes. Depend upon it. Nicholas Nickleby, by Charles Dickens. There's an apple on the desk. Looks fresh. I'm tossing it in the drone. Okay, I'm looking. Excuse me. I'm looking out the window. Hey, are you guys still out there? Because I see kids in the schoolyard. I don't see the van or any of you. Yeah, second classroom on the right. You see me. Weird. The apple appeared fresh on the video feed. However, when removed from the samples bin, it was in an advanced state of decomposition. The drone's feed through the window showed the foundation van on the ground, and the researchers looking up at the window. No children were seen in the schoolyard. Okay, you want me to head down the hallway? Alright, let's see if I can actually make it this time. Not holding out any hope. Walking forward, it looks 10 feet to the next door, which would actually put it in the last room, but who's counting? I'm still here, it's just farther than it looks. Feels like I've been walking at least a couple hours. I'm almost there, I'm just gonna take a breather. Oh, yeah, this is wrong. I've stopped moving, but now I'm going backwards. The hallway's moving past me. Shit, I just saw the door move past me. I'm moving forward again, that's better. Okay, I'm almost there. One last dash and I should make it. And I'm back with the robot. I knew it wasn't gonna work. There was no way to get it there, you know, I'm telling you. Video feed showed the next door was 30 feet away. The total elapsed time from one door to the next was 5 minutes, in which time Agent meandered toward the end of the hallway. No anomalous activity was observed while he was standing still. When he neared the When he neared the end of the hallway, Agent redacted and turned around and quickly returned to the beginning of the hallway. Okay, I hear you. I got it. I've got my eyes closed. I'm walking forward. Left. Got it. Going straight. Correcting left again. Correcting right again. Okay, this is going a lot faster. Okay, correcting right. Yes, right. I heard you. God damn it, I'm going right. Okay, left. No, it is not the same direction. Look, if you think it's that easy, just send the robot in. The robot was able to reach the end of the hallway with no problems. Agent Redacted attempted to follow, but was unable to keep a straight line to the end of the hallway. Just go ahead and send in the bot. I'm not going to try again until we have a better idea what's in there. Something's keeping me out of there. We should figure out what it is before anything else. Look, if you want to know that badly, go yourself or request some Class Ds. I'm not going in. Deal with it. At this point, the robot opened the door and crossed this threshold into another hallway, running perpendicular to the first, 30 meters in length. No doors were visible. A single window was observed, but was situated far too high for the view outside to be visible. The walls were free of graffiti. The left was a dead end, while the right terminated in a left-hand turn. The robot turned right into the new hallway. After 10 meters, the GPS showed it to be outside of the building, though the video feed still showed the hallway. It continued to the end of the hallway and turned left. Agent Redacted was just ahead at the beginning of the original hallway. Turning the camera behind the robot showed only the stairwell with no sign of the hallway. The unit's GPS showed it by Agent Redacted's position at this time. I see another classroom. I don't see the robot, though. I lost track of it after it went through the door. What do you mean it's outside? Did it go out through the window? Look, maybe the GPS is screwy. Calm down. What do you mean? What the hell am I? Oh, fuck. Okay, that's enough. I'm calling it off for the day. We can come back after we get some Class Ds in here. Okay, gonna finish it there. Thanks for watching, any mad people that did. Send requests in Twitch's Whisper if you want to.